So over the last lectures, we had a look at a lot of possible next steps, including libraries like Gatsby.js or component libraries like Material UI. Here's one other nice library you might want to look into, preact. Now, that's no typo. Preact, which you can read more about on preactjs.com, is a lightweight alternative to React. It's only 3 kilobytes big, and it offers pretty much the same, with some deviations, but not that many, API React does. So should you always use that? Are the creators of React stupid? They are not. There are differences, and I will talk about these in the next lecture. But for now, let me explain what preact is. You can always read through this page, of course. But let's click on the REPL here on that page. There you simply see an example for the preact or for preact in action. And if you analyze this example, you'll recognize the code. For example, down there, we have a normal component in the functional form, just using the structuring here to pull out one property of the props argument. But in the end, that's just your normal JSX code. That's just a functional component which gets used. And above it, we got a class-based one which also extends component. So this syntax looks a lot like React syntax. And it is, to a majority or to a certain degree, to a very big degree actually. Preact uses pretty much the same API, but uses a leaner diffing algorithm behind the scenes. So for finding out if it needs to update the real DOM, it has a leaner algorithm for that. Lean doesn't strictly mean better, but of course it leads to a much smaller file size, 3 kilobytes, as I just showed you. The important thing here is that preact, and you can always learn more here on the guide, also offers some differences to React. Even some new features, as it will turn out. But more about the differences in the next lecture. You can start working with preact if you Google for preact CLI. Then you should find this GitHub page where you find a project which is a lot like Create React App, which allows you to create new preact apps, which use preact instead of React, obviously, based on some of the templates you find here. So you can quickly scaffold out a new app where you can use the majority of the things you learned in this course. Again, differences are highlighted in the next lecture, and simply use this much smaller bundle, this much smaller library. This is preact CLI, and this is preact, a lightweight alternative using pretty much the same API. And therefore, the things you learned in this course are valid. Now let's find out what the differences are then, and when you should and should not use preact. Let's do this in the next lecture.